right now. Hold your hand out in front of you. Now imagine placing one tiny grain of rice on your fingertip. Hold it up against the night sky. That tiny, empty black space behind the rice, that is exactly where a scientist pointed a $10 billion space camera. Everyone laughed at him. They said he was wasting millions of dollars on absolutely nothing. But what he found changed how every human being sees the universe. What was hiding in the dark? The year is 1995. A scientist named Bob Williams had a question that made everyone around him very, very nervous. Bob was the boss of the Hubble Space Telescope. Think of it like the most expensive camera ever built by humans, flying 600 kilometers above your head right now. And Bob wanted to do something nobody had ever done before. He wanted to point this $1 billion camera at absolutely nothing. Not a star, not a planet, nothing. His fellow scientists were furious. They said, "Bob, this camera cost billions of dollars. If you point it at nothing, you will get a picture of nothing. You will embarrass all of us. You will ruin your career." But Bob had a feeling. Deep in his heart, he thought, what if the universe is hiding something from us? What if our eyes are just too small to see it? But wait, how do you even find a perfect spot of nothing? Think about this. If you accidentally pick a spot with even one bright star nearby, the whole experiment is completely ruined. It is like trying to see a tiny firefly when someone is shining a giant torch directly into your eyes. How did Bob find the ultimate dark hiding spot in the universe? Bob and his team needed a patch of sky that was perfectly, completely, totally dark. Think of our galaxy, the Milky Way, like a giant glowing city. You know how when you stand under a street lamp at night in the city, you cannot see any stars above you? The city lights wash everything out. You have to leave the city and drive far into the countryside to see the stars. Bob had to do the exact same thing, but with the entire galaxy. After searching and searching, they finally found their spot. A tiny patch of sky near a star group called the Big Dipper. Now, how small was this spot? I want you to really picture this. Take a tennis ball. Walk to the end of a football field. Now hold the tennis ball out at arm's length and look at it. That tiny little speck? That is exactly how much sky Bob was pointing the camera at. One tiny tennis ball out of the entire infinite sky. And he pointed $10 billion at it. Now the clock was ticking. Bob decided to run the experiment during Christmas week 1995, while everyone was at home opening presents. But something terrifying could go wrong. The telescope had to take hundreds of photographs over 10 whole days without stopping. If the telescope shook even a tiny bit, if even one tiny piece of space dust flew past the lens, the entire experiment would be destroyed. Would the machine hold up? Now, here is something very important to understand. Normally, when scientists use Hubble, they take a photo for just a few hours. But Bob knew that would never work. Let me show you why with a simple example. Imagine you are sitting in a completely dark room at night, and far away in the corner, there is a tiny, tiny candle flame, almost invisible. If you blink your eyes quickly, you will never see it. But if you hold your eyes wide open for a long, long time, slowly, more and more light pours in. And finally, you see it. That is exactly what Hubble had to do. For 10 whole days, it held its eyes completely open.
It took 342 separate photographs, all pointed at the exact same tiny spot. Total time? Over 100 hours of staring. The scientists waited. Nobody slept well. Nobody knew if they were about to see a completely blank black screen or the greatest photograph in human history. 2 weeks later, the data finally finished downloading. Bob and his team gathered around a computer screen. Their hands were shaking. They clicked open the final file. What they saw did not just shock the room.
It broke the minds of scientists all over the world. Are you ready to see what was hiding in the dark? The file loaded. The screen lit up. It was not black. It was an explosion of colors. Glowing blues, bright reds, golden spirals, sparkling clusters of light everywhere. In that tiny patch of sky where everyone thought there was nothing, they counted over 3,000 galaxies. Not stars, galaxies. Each one of those tiny dots of light was an entire galaxy, just like our Milky Way. Each one containing hundreds of billions of its own stars and planets. And they were all different shapes. Some looked like beautiful spinning pinwheels. Some looked like long silver needles pointing through space. Some looked like glowing beads on a cosmic necklace. In one tiny patch of nothing, 3,000 entire worlds. But then, the realization hit them like a truck. This was not just a regular photograph. Because of how light travels through space, Bob Williams had not just taken a photograph. He had accidentally built a real-life time machine. How is it possible to look at a photo and see billions of years into the past? To understand this, I want you to think about sound for a moment. Imagine your friend is standing at the far end of a football field. They cup their hands around their mouth and shout, "Hello!" It takes a tiny moment for that sound to travel through the air to your ears. You are hearing their voice from the past. Just a tiny fraction of a second, but still, the past. Light works the exact same way, just much, much, much faster. The light from our own sun takes 8 minutes to reach Earth. So right now, when you look up at the sun, you are not seeing it as it is at this moment. You are seeing it as it was 8 minutes ago. Now, think about those 3,000 galaxies in that photograph. They were so impossibly far away that their light had to travel through space for 10 billion years just to reach Hubble's camera lens. That means Bob was not looking at those galaxies as they look today. He was looking at them as they were 10 billion years ago, near the very beginning of time itself. He took a photograph of the past. The world of science was completely turned upside down. But here is the thing about humans. We can never just stop. Scientists started whispering to each other. If Hubble found 3,000 galaxies by staring for 100 hours, what would happen if we stared for 1 million seconds? What is hiding even deeper in the dark? In 2004,
scientists decided to push Hubble to its absolute limit. They pointed it at another dark patch of sky, and this time, they let it stare for 1 million seconds. 1 million seconds. That is 11 and a half days of non-stop staring. They called this the Hubble Ultra Deep Field. It was like upgrading from a simple magnifying glass to the most powerful microscope in the universe. This time, they did not find 3,000 galaxies. They found 10,000. In the same tiny tennis ball-sized patch of sky. And this time, they looked so far back in time that they saw the very first galaxies in all of history switching on their lights for the very first time. Scientists call this the cosmic dark ages, the moment right after the Big Bang when the universe was completely dark. And Hubble watched the lights come on. Now, think about what we just discovered.
If one tiny patch of sky holds 10,000 galaxies, how many galaxies are hiding in the entire night sky? If you calculate it out, the answer is so enormous, it will completely change how you see yourself and our tiny little planet Earth. Let us do the maths together. Because Bob Williams dared to stare at nothing, we now know our universe contains at least 2 trillion galaxies. 2 trillion. Now let me show you how small we really are. You live on Earth. Earth circles one star, our sun. Our sun is just one out of 100 billion stars in our galaxy. And our galaxy is just one out of 2 trillion galaxies. Now here is the thought that will truly blow your mind. Scientists estimate there are more planets in the universe than there are grains of sand on every single beach on Earth. Every beach, every desert, every sandbox in every playground your kids have ever played in. Combined, more planets than all of that sand. And Bob found all of this by pointing a camera at nothing. Bob Williams went from being the man that everyone laughed at to a legendary hero who won major scientific awards. Even the scientists building the brand new James Webb Space Telescope praised his courage. But there is one more thing. What is the real lesson hiding inside this story? And how does it prove that nothing is actually the most important thing in the world? Bob Williams taught us something that goes far beyond astronomy. He showed us that the most important discoveries in history were made by people who dared to look where nobody else was looking. When everyone told him to play it safe, he chose the unknown. When everyone laughed at him, he kept going. When everyone said there is nothing there, he said, "Let me check." Today, the James Webb Space Telescope is following exactly in Bob's footsteps, staring even deeper into the dark, finding secrets we have not even dreamed of yet. So the next time you look up at the night sky and you see a big, empty black patch of space,
Do not just see nothing. Remember Bob Williams. Remember the grain of rice. And remember that the dark is full of beautiful, glowing worlds, just waiting to be found. If this story amazed you, give it a like for Bob Williams. Subscribe so you never miss our next story. And tell me in the comments, what do you think is hiding in the dark? I will read every single one.